I don't know. There we go. All right. Yeehaw. Okay. Hey, welcome, guys. Just let me know if you can hear me. I can see all the chats. I can see everybody. Just wanting to see if everybody can actually hear me and see me and all that kind of stuff. All right. All right, perfect. All right, I got that confirmation. You can finally see and hear me. Hey guys, welcome to our 20,000 sub milestone live stream. I'll tell you what, I have never been so happy to do these things. I mean, you guys make this community for Judy and I, and genuinely, we sincerely appreciate it. Now, I know everybody's throwing their numbers out there. What I wanted to do is give enough people chance to log in, get on, because some people are going to be a little bit later risers and what. And so I was thinking around 10:30 we'll do our raffle, and at that time I'm going to get everybody to punch in a number. And like I said, the between 1 to 1,000, and then that closest number to the number that we previously picked yesterday. And I sent this over to a really good buddy of mine that is extremely has great integrity and trust. And so we've picked this number out, and I texted it over to him, so he already knows. Now, the number that's closest to that, the lowest number is closest to that. So if it's on the number or the lowest one closest to it, then that person's going to win. And on top of that, if I get two people that pick that same number, then I'll give out two free coaching sessions, guys. And hey, that's a $250 value, for those that have gone through it. And you know what? The feedback that we have gotten on the coaching is phenomenal. I want to talk a little bit about it so that you guys really get a gist of what the coaching truly is. So, as we don't give financial advice, but I'll tell you what, there are some amazing techniques that we go over and I share with you. Like I say, when I talk about I share our experience, I get down to the nitty gritty of what Judy and I went through and all that we experienced and how it affected our decision making and all of that stuff and our planning and all that kind of stuff. And then, we go over a bunch of really great information and details that are specific, that you can craft specifically to yourself. And it doesn't just stop there. We actually deal with the attitudes that we need to have when we're dealing with our, this type of space, especially a space like this. And it has been a great value to a lot of folks that have taken it. And I've had people come back and take it more than one time. And on top of that, we've actually had like a wide group of folks, from various different parts of the world, number one, all over the world, and also different, levels of where they're at in their life in terms of their age, their ambitions, their goals, their financial situations, and all of that. And the coaching we provide actually can assist in every one of those situations. These are tried and true proven principles that really can make a difference. So I know whoever wins it is going to absolutely love it. It's going to be something really great that they're going to enjoy. Now, I just want to give some shout outs to some folks that are in the house and acknowledge people, because I'll tell you what, guys, you're the folks that mean the most. I mean, what's the point of getting out there and just talking? I heard someone say, one time, if for all these guys that think they're leaders and that, sometimes you got a lot of people out there that are trying to be leaders in the space and nobody's following. And in that case, they're just out for a walk. You know what I mean? And hey, speaking of that, I know a lot of the recent videos that I've done have been inside and stuff like that. And a lot of that has been due to the kind of weird weather and plus a little bit of the schedule with Judy and I and that whole accident thing. But I cannot wait to get out there, and when the weather really is warming up and sunny and stuff like that, and taking you on those walks. There are some beautiful, beautiful places around here in this McKinney area of Texas. And I love the outdoors. I think it's like bred right into us as Canadians, because as a kid, in Canada, it is so cold. and all that for where I grew up, very, very cold for a long period of the year, that if you never went outside and enjoyed it, I'm telling you, you'd be stuck indoors your whole life. It would be like a permanent grounding, you know. So, hey. So, all right. I see that Peter Pan, you are the #1 guy on the chat today. And, hey, welcome to the house. We got Daniel Tabit, Jose Corchado. I hope I pronounced that right, Jose. And, hey, I love the fact that you got that. Hey, good morning, guys. Digital Outlook here because, you know, I have my coffee chat morning. You know, hey, Chocolate Tobler. Chocolate Tober, #1, very good friend of mine, and we were a part of a very, very small and personal Discord back when we were going through that last run, and one of my first, I think one, 2, or 3 of my first subscribers, so he's been here a long time, and I really value him a lot. Fire Marshal Bill, hey, I love that. I love that. I have a friend in the fire department. So anyway, we went out to visit him and stuff like that. And, you know, he put us all, I've got a picture of myself all in the whole fire gear equipment and all that. And he took us out on the big, you know, fire truck there and drove us a little bit around the neighborhood. It was a blast. Really loved it. Now, Tuminen. I hope I got that, man. You know what? I am bad when it comes to a lot of pronunciations. And maybe you guys have noticed that. Sometimes I do my walkabouts and stuff like that. But hey, welcome, Timo. All right, let's see here. We got BCM Falls, DP, JR El Corta, Bronx Boy. I'm glad you're here, Bronx Boy. I think about you from time to time. Pray for you, man, a lot. HK. Now, I know this is Todd. Because I've actually, I know who this is. But hey, man, welcome, Todd. Solo, Volante, Anthony, MD. Man, I'm making a killing of these names. I'm sorry, guys. Kenny, see you in there. Let's just take a look. Charlie Evans, see you in there. Yang Cancel Culture, see you in there. Becky Forbes, I see you in there. Joe Machado, see you in there. Oh, did I say that one? Okay, maybe not. SD, see you in there. Stacy Loftman, see you in there. Great. Oh, hey, Stacy, I really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you guys. Loren Benita is in there. Tony's in there. Let's just keep going here. Carrie, I just spoke with Carrie the other day. Great guy. Really, really enjoy him. And I'm glad to see you're here, Carrie. Let's just keep going here. Jean Brault, Colin Higgins, make it right. Absolutely. Hey, Barrie, Ontario. You know, I have some great memories about living in Ontario. When I was a kid, we lived in Bramalea, Ontario, right off of Highway 7 there. And I remember Barrie, Ontario. I've been to Barrie, Ontario. And needless to say, my dad, he was a trucker, you know. And as a kid, he'd take me for all kinds of rides in his truck and stuff like that. And we went all the way up the North Bay and everything like that. And in the summers, you know, we would go down to Wasaga Beach out there with Terracotta. We'd go out that way and stuff like that. Have some great, great memories. And I really loved it down there. It was, you know, life as a kid. For those of us that grew up in the 80s, just to kind of throw this out there, life as kids for us was a genuine adventure. And for those of you who are around my age, hey, I'm 55, you know, you can attest to it. We didn't, you know, we had to make our fun, guys. We didn't have all these video game consoles and stuff, and we had some adventures for sure. And being outside and just the wilderness and stuff, man, it was amazing. In fact, when I was raising my kids, I told them, I said, you know, we had a much more adventurous childhood than most of y'all had. In fact, one day I came home with my own kids, came home from work, and it was summertime. And all the kids in the block, I kid you not, it was a scorching day, but this is what they had done. They had all these extension cords, they had these little tables, and all of them around the block had all their little video game consoles outside, you know, in the front lawns. I'm like, this is obscene. I had to change this. So I went down to the store, you know, and I bought like bags and bags of all these water balloons and stuff like that. And I got all these kids together and I had filled these suckers up. And I said, okay, kids, we're really going to have some genuine fun here. And I'm telling you, man, we just plastered one another with these water balloons and all this kind of stuff. And the kids had a great time. what I didn't think about before I started was I had to go around that evening and pick up all those broken water balloons. And I'm telling you, boy, that was some price. But you know what? It was worth it to see the joy on those kids' faces of having some real fun. I'll tell you what. All right, let's take a look. Well, hey, there I am. I'm in here, aren't I? All right, let's just keep going down. Surf Photography, see you in there. And Serge, I see you in there. All right, Papas, I see you in there. Alacan 98, John Alcock is in there. Brian Kruger, welcome, 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 everybody. Jerry checks, man, you know what? You leave some of the greatest comments. I really, really appreciate it so much. Hein is in here. Jono is in here. JC9. Let's keep going here and see how many I can get down. Reno Wong. Hey, Tahiti. Boy, do I envy you. I'll tell you what. I think a lot of us do. You know, Tahiti is a place we all like to go for our vacations. You know, sit down there on the beach, have some Mai Tais, and just kind of relax. But what a great place to live, right? John is Landcott or Landsot? Landcott, I think is what that is. Kodakor. Hey, I've seen you around. Mark Lewis. 91 Honksu. Let's just take a look. Black 50. All right. I remember Hawaii 50 when I was a kid. That kind of dates us, you know, but yeah. Michelle is here. Marcus Flick is here. Larry Ruddock is here. Yes, Larry. Hey, man, I hope Judy is recovering well. And in fact, later on in the program, she's going to come on and say hello and let you know how she's doing herself. But, you know, she's just getting herself ready there. Stephen Hutton. Yeah, Stephen, you know what? It's really, you know, I really, really appreciate the fact that community has grown. And I'll tell you what, it is genuinely humbling, you know, to see that. Because, you know, when I started this whole thing out, here, I was retired. I was like, you know, kind of twiddling my thumbs. It was really Judy's idea. And she says, hey, you need to get out there and you need to do something. Why don't you start a YouTube channel? I'm like, nobody's going to want to hear what I have to say, kind of thing. But needless to say, and I really didn't know how or what. It felt kind of awkward. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to be me, just say what I think and feel and that kind of stuff. And I threw it across the bow of some of my friends like Chocolate Tobler there and different ones. And lo and behold, started it up. Man, I'll tell you what, that first 100 subscribers, I tell you, it took a long time. And I was not even really, I was thinking, oh, okay. And that type of thing. And then, you know, it just started to progress. And then just went, wow. And you know what, guys? We have kept it true to the virtue of this channel has stayed the same from day one. And I'll tell you why. Because when I was actually getting involved in this space, I was following a number of influencers, and a lot of these guys out there, you know, I didn't know it at the time, and I didn't understand how YouTube worked, but they were, you know, proposing, oh, hey, there's this token, there's that token, there's this and there's that. Well, as it turned out, I learned later on that a lot of those guys were paid to shill those projects. Literally, they were paid. They didn't hold them really, but they were doing like, you know, advertisements, but not telling you they were advertisements. And so I thought when I started, I did not want to have anything to do with that, you know. And I thought, well, maybe I'd have sponsors as exchanges, or perhaps I, you know, sponsor of, you know, maybe coffee cups, who knows what. But needless to say, I just decided, look, I'm not going to do any of this sponsor stuff. Now I'm telling you, every week I get solicitations galore for people to partner with the channel. And I literally had the most high value one thus far. And it's been a little while now, but you know, most of them, they offer you, by the way, guys, thousands of dollars. This one offered us $1,600 for a 10-second spot. And I'm like, hey, I do 2 videos a day. Well, that's all right. That's $3,200. And they come back to me and say, hey, we're ready to bury you in money. And that was my signal to get out of there. Because, hey, if they're ready to bury me in that kind of money, literally $3,200 a day, then they would really own me. And I just don't want that. I want to be able to come out there, share my genuine enthusiasm for what I genuinely believe in. Now, guys, when you're watching my YouTube channel, you're getting my 100% biased opinion. That is a fact. And it is my conviction you're hearing based on the research I've done and what I believe in right deep down, that I genuinely believe in these things that I'm talking about. But I can share my conviction with you. I can't give it to you. And that's where I encourage you guys, go out and really research this space. Now, YouTube is great for that. It's great for confluence, but it's not great for research. Research is you going out there, reading the white papers, you going out there and visiting some of these, partnerships that are associated with a lot of these tokens and finding out, hey, did they actually do what they said they were going to do? And all of that kind of stuff. And then, do that kind of thing and look a little bit forward. Listen, I'll tell you what, the answers that you find out for yourself are going to be the ones you're going to trust the most, and you're not going to get shaken out so easily. A lot of people, guys, in this space are spoon-fed what to believe, what to think. They're spoon-fed their confidence in investing, aren't they? And the deal is this: when it's all going wild up top, and they're FOMOing in, kind of like they do, right? And they're all way up here just FOMOing in, kind of like that, and then down here when things are all really bad, they're like, Guys, the reason that is they're basing their decisions on somebody else's conviction. They don't have the confidence in it on their own. You got to build your own confidence. That would at least be some of my encouragement, that's for sure, It is something else. I see Jerry saying, I can't imagine this chat after regulations. Well, I'll tell you what, Jerry and everybody out there, let's be honest with ourselves and say this. Wouldn't it be nice to have some really great regulations? It would be. I'll tell you why. But ones that we can get behind as a community, that are fair, balanced, transparent, genuine, that really address the issues in the space that need to be addressed, and not just, packing the bags of all of the Wall Street guys and making everything fall in line with what they've already been doing to us all this time. The whole manipulation game, right? We need regulation. And I'll tell you why, because without real, genuine regulation, let's be honest, we're not going to get that institutional adoption. They just don't have the risk tolerance for it. And when you get institutional adoption, you're talking major, major money, right? Pension funds into the billions of dollars. All of those kind of things like that. Major institutional money like that is going to come in when now, hey, when that happens, what's going to happen too? As I've said in a lot of my videos, risk is going to come way, way down, isn't it? Now, when the risk comes way, way down like that, what happens? Reward comes down with it, guys. That's why if you have the tenacity to be in this space right now when everybody is kind of like hands off because, who knows where this is going, and you stick with it, I'm telling you what, it is my 100% belief that we are going to see some major global winners come out of this space that are going to genuinely change lives, families, individuals, and perhaps even for generations. I'll tell you what, do you know, in our family, in my family going back, I can go back multiple generations in my family, and most of them have worked for somebody else their whole life and haven't been able to set the course for themselves. Now, that's not everybody's situation, but that's been the majority of my family and all how they immigrated over to North America and all that. And my family, most of them hail from Scotland. Scotland and, of course, England. Now, I've got an English name as English as it ever gets, Branscombe. But you know why that is, guy? I was adopted. But I in my blood, I'm a Scot. In my blood, it's all Scottish. And, I have some great subscribers out there that are Scottish. And look, you know what? It was a lot of these immigrants from Scotland, Ireland, and all around and things like that that came over and really settled a lot of North America and stuff like that. And they were some hard-working folk, no doubt about it. But generationally, hey, they were laying the foundation for their kids and then their kids and stuff like that. And, a lot of people that weren't even educated themselves were the very people, you look at who founded Harvard and all these Ivy League schools, you're going to find out it was people that could barely read and write themselves. And it was in the way they even wrote it on the cornerstones and things like that. You know, they wanted something better for their future. Well, that's what we want in this space. We're the pioneers in this space. We want something better, don't we? We want something better to leave behind so that the people that we're leaving it to are going to be way further ahead and way further down the road than what we are. You know, that's kind of what we're looking at. Now, hey, I see Becky Forbes has got, hey, David, you should do a contest of what the price of XRP will be within 24 hours of Judge Torsh's decision. Wow, have we ever seen some speculation on the price? I did a video a couple months back, and it was on all the various prices of XRP. Now, you got one coming out there, and, I'm just trying to think of the guy, oh my goodness, his name escapes me, which is absolutely crazy. But we've seen so many different prices that have come out there. And actually, someone came into my, Patrick Riley and I were talking. And later on, after I interviewed Patrick with Reaper Financial, because it's a big one, and he came out and said, hey, well, the price of XRP could hit $1 million, but he wasn't looking at it from the perspective, oh, $1 million a token as it is today. He's like, we don't know what $1 million is going to be worth down the road, do we? I mean, with the inflation, the way things are going, $1 million could be maybe, at the value of $10,000 or something like that, And then you have the 122,000 people coming out with that. You got Val Hill Capital, they're 35 grand and all that kind of stuff. And of course, guys, what is the big price that everybody talks about when it comes to XRP, right? 589, right? Maybe we're going to see that. Maybe we aren't. Who knows? But I'll tell you what. If you want to really have some confidence, take the price out of it and just start looking at the application and the use case and how the world is changing. Now, on my video there yesterday, I kind of broke it down of how, I've lived through a bunch of changes in the world. The advent of the home computer. Wow, that was a big one. And a lot of us were so enamored with what we could do. We couldn't really understand. It was almost like a plaything at first. It was just really a toy because we didn't really have big time applications for it. But it was a novelty. And it was something, my dad got me one it was built by Timex. It was a Timex Sinclair, and it had this little tape deck, and you'd put in a cassette and you'd have to run it. And goodness sakes, it took 20, 25 minutes to load Frogger. Remember that game, the little frog hopping across the street? But needless to say, I remember that. And I was a teenager then, and it was something else. But a lot of people, like I say, we were all enamored with the technology and oblivious to the opportunity. Now, of course, not everyone was oblivious to it, but a lot of us were. And when you take a look at that, and you see all these major transitions like the advent of the internet, the advent of social media, the advent of, even these digital assets in 2008 and 9 when Bitcoin was coming out, most people, really didn't even grasp it and completely and totally missed it. Completely and totally missed it. And here we are on the verge of probably one of the biggest technological and social transitions in the history, probably in the last 400 or 500 years. This is that big of a deal. Distributed ledger technology is literally going to change the way the world unfolds should Jesus tarry for the next 100 plus years. It is going to be that transformative. You are literally seeing, right? We are literally at that point where the world is going to make that quantum leap almost into a digital age, really a digital age. We think we're in a digital age, but we're not until we see our finances and everything like that go digital and our identities and our information. Imagine this. Here we have all this social media, right? And what are they doing? Well, they're profiting on all of our data, aren't they? All the people we interact with, the games we play, the restaurants we like, this, that, and all this kind of stuff. And they're out there selling it. Google and Facebook and Meta, I guess, and all these ones. Well, in this new economy, you're going to have custody of that information. You're going to be the one that's going to be able to profit on that. You're going to be the one who's actually able to say who you give it to and who you don't through smart contracts and the like. And I'm telling you guys, that is going to revolutionize the world. And forget just about that. What about banking the unbanked? I'm telling you, you know what? when Judy and I have gone overseas, and we've gone to some of these smaller countries like that have really low GDPs, they're already, majority of their populations are already using instant payment methods vis-a-vis their cell phones in ways that we don't even, even the people on the street that are, street vendors and, panhandlers or whatever, they even have a digital little card lanyard around their neck with a QR code. So when people say, hey, you got some spare change? Like, oh, no. They know people don't have change in their pocket or money in their pockets, but they can scan their phone and give them a little bit of, even those guys are out there, using this digital system. It is amazing. And so I'm telling you, we are going to see such adoption. It is going to be mind-blowing. Yep, I see that run there. Let's take a look. All right. Okay, I see. Digital Orgy here saying, don't let FUD break you down ever. Well, that's true. Because why? Because most of the time what we're dealing with there is what FUD stands for: fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Don't let somebody else who has given up on their dreams talk you out of yours. Just because they're, you know what, guys, the reality is this: most people in life do not ever achieve their ultimate dreams. Do you know why? Because they just don't have they give up. They give up. And that is the problem. We have lost, that whole idea of perseverance, of stepping out and taking some risk. God only knows. Thank God for the pioneers who are willing to pack it all up and go west, young man, and take that adventure on the road and realize life is meant to be lived. And yeah, there's no guarantees. And you walk out into the wilderness there, you don't know what you're going to find. I love that, whole Hobbit thing when Frodo, says, hey, taking a step outside your door is like, you never know what's going to happen. It's one of the greatest adventures ever. And a lot of people, it's almost like we're conditioned to have security. And being secure and all that is more important than, taking risks, because God only knows what could happen to you, how hurt you could get, or all that. But what about the wonder that you're missing out on, right? What about the excitement you're missing out on? The adventure you're missing out on? And yes, you are taking risk and you could get hurt. That is true. No one's saying it isn't true. But I'll tell you what, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You know what? Hey, look at it from this perspective. We all hope to fall in love at some point. Well, when you do that, boy, you're taking a big risk, aren't you? Because you don't know if you're ever going to get devastated, heartbroken, and all of that. And who wants to go through that misery? But you know what? If you never do, you never will. You never step out there and put your heart on the line and take a risk. You're not going to know the absolute joy of what it is to be loved and loved back. That's an example right there that we can all relate to. And it's one of the biggest risks that we take. I love how Simon Garfunkel, when they were singing that song, I Am a Rock, and it's kind of satire because and a rock feels no pain and an island never cries, right? Listen to the lyrics of that song and you find out is that a life worth living? Well, not really, is it? And that's the point of that song. It's like, hey guys, you want to get out there and really enjoy life and love? Then you got to take a risk. And that's the same thing in this space. Never give up the adventure. It's worth everything, in my opinion, that's for sure. So let's just see here what's going on. So, yep. So Todd is saying, HK Todd's saying here, we're headed into major changes in the financial system and each of us have the chance to come out financially free. Yep. This current fiat system is literally at the point of genuinely breaking down, and you can literally see it happening right before your very eyes. Now, it's easier sometimes to see things when you have perspective, isn't it? When you have some life behind you and you can look down the road and you can remember the past and you can actually see, wow, what a bunch of change. And you've lived through maybe some major financial issues in the past, like we did back in the 70s and 80s and into the 90s there, of course. And then we had the whole 2008 deal, and you've lived some life and you kind of see that. You kind of see the telltale signs. It's like being through a few storms. Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you. Experience is saying, hey, looks like a storm's coming here, because you can see it in the clouds and you kind of know. Well, we can see it. And I think this time it is going to be, it's game over. It's game over. They've literally pulled every pin that they can pull. And the only thing they can potentially do is what they have been doing, that's quantitative easing 5.0, right? And we know that that is just going to literally cause the whole system to genuinely implode. And you have the death of the petrodollar. I mean, Saudi Arabia, back in the day when Kissinger made that agreement with Saudi Arabia that oil would not be sold other than US dollars, that was a major deal. And I'll tell you what, this country has gone to war in the past to protect that arrangement. Well, now that's off the table, guys, because Saudi Arabia literally came out there in Davos at one of the WEF, big, conventions they have over there, and flat out said, we're ready right now and we're prepared and we're willing to sell our oil in alternate currencies to the US dollar. And they made applications even to join the Brics nations. And I'll tell you what, that was the last nail in the dollar's coffin. And the only thing we haven't done is had the funeral, but it's coming. It is coming, and coming fast. You guys are saying you can barely hear me. Is that right? Is that right? You can barely hear me? So I seen that in one of the comments there. And I'm putting up the audio. I'm going to put it up really high. And is that too high? Can I raise my mic even a bit? How's that? Is that better? Let me know. Is that better? Hopefully that's good. Maybe it is time to take a sip of coffee, RPS. Now, this cup I got says, be still and know Psalm 46:10. It was a gift to me from a good friend of mine, John. And I love it because, you know what? It is so easy to get all hyped up into this space and everything else. And I love this scripture, be still and know. And the full scripture, be still and know that I'm God. And, when you think about that, you think, okay, well, what does he mean? Well, know my character, know my ability, know the things that I can do for you, you can't do for yourself, that nothing's taken me by surprise. And you don't have to be worried because, hey, I'm in the boat with you. That's what I love about that. And also coffee and cinnamon are one of my two favorite things. I love cinnamon flavored gum as well. Okay. Jerry's asking, David, can I have a stupid question for you? Okay. No question is stupid, number one. As a former Canadian IRS guy, how easy is it to launder our crypto gains money? It is not easy. Don't kid yourself. Now, I remember being in special enforcement back in the day. And I remember when Bitcoin and everything like that was coming out and whatever. And a lot of the underground economy at the time thought that it was the whole idea was that, Bitcoin couldn't be tracked and and on and on and on. Well, the reality is it is probably the most trackable things that you can possibly get. Don't think that you can somehow hide from the government all your cryptos and stuff like that, because I'll tell you what, how do you think you're going to move that crypto and eventually cash it out? Because when you sell it on an exchange or in a person-to-person thing, they can see where it's moved. No matter what, you can see where it's moved. And I'll tell you, so what if you do it over there in the Cayman Islands and things like that? Don't kid yourself that your government doesn't have an ability to follow. Do you know how many treaties there are in the world for the absolute and more? There's more legal treaties regarding taxation and absolutely following people who've defaulted on tax than there is for a bunch of criminal legislation. I kid you not. And the treaties for information would blow your minds. Don't think that your government doesn't have the ability. Do you know what? They don't even have to take people to court to get it. They have mechanisms that they can actually serve various institutions that have absolutely zero choice but to cough the information they want up. I know it because I did it. I know it because that was my experience. Hey, right on the wall, right over here, guys, you see that little maple leaf? That's their little thank you for your 25 years of service plaque for me working with the Canada Revenue Agency. And I started off as a contact officer, went in to become an enforcement officer, a special enforcement officer. I became a resource officer and complex case officer, spent some time as a team leader and stuff like that. And I'm telling you what, look, don't kid yourself. It's out there and you'd be foolish to do it. You'd be foolish to do it. Don't try and get out from under it. You're better off. Because I'll tell you what, the last thing you want, in a global digital economy is for some down the road you've sold and all that. And when you least expect it, somebody's knocking on your door. And when you're trying to hide, there's two different things I need to point out here. Now, the first thing is tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is completely legal, guys, because you're avoiding. Now, there's legal ways of doing it, either through tax plans or like you do in the United States, you buy a 401k or an RSP in Canada. That's legal tax avoidance right there because, you're putting money aside, What about your tax-free savings accounts and your Roth IRAs and all that kind of stuff? Totally okay. Tax evasion, that's where you've made money and you've hidden it from the government in a self-assessing system like we are here in the United States and in Canada and a lot of countries around the world like the UK and what. And you've hidden it from the government. Well, now you could be facing some serious, not only penalties, gross negligence penalties, but potentially jail time. And it's just not worth it. I mean, that's how they got Al Capone, right? They got him on tax evasion, not on all the bootlegging that he was doing. They got him on tax evasion. And the guy died in prison, so think about that. Anyway, let's just take a look. Okay, Brian Kruger has a question. When you sell crypto, where do you put the fiat if fiat is going down? Wait until you can buy hard assets with crypto? This is a fantastic question and one I've even asked myself numerous times. Guys, we know that this current fiat system is literally on the verge of complete collapse. But we also know that, hey, we got this new digital economy coming into play. And one of the people we're investing in big time is right involved in the building of the infrastructure for central bank digital currencies. There will be a monetary instrument. Now, the thing is this. Just like I was reporting in the video there the other day, look, we've got a monetary instrument right now that has the three things going for it, right? It is a store of value, has a unit of account, and it's a medium of exchange. Well, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve want it to also be a method of social control and add a fourth element to monetary instruments. That's what central bank digital currencies are being looked at. And a lot of countries in the world are literally doing that. That is their absolute plan. Now, we've got members of Congress out there that are trying to put forth bills that would eliminate this. Why? Because they know a CBDC is coming, guys, obviously, right? Now, when you got XRP, what do you got? Well, you have a store of value, you have a unit of account, and a medium exchange. And what you don't have is social control. Guys, I really believe that when we do actually start cashing out, you do want to probably transition some of that into other assets because a lot of people will say, well, I don't trust the markets. I'm not investing in the markets. I just hold my cash in the bank. Well, then you're in the market. If you hold the dollar, you're in the market. Why? Because the dollar's influenced by the market as to its purchasing power up and down. And we've literally saw that, haven't we? With all this inflation going sky high, and then you got the Fed increasing the interest rates and stuff like that. But ask yourself this, is the bank really passing on in your savings all these big interest rates? No, they're not, are they? Well, that's what fractional reserve banking is, one of the biggest Ponzi schemes there ever was, right? You put your money in there, they give you a pittance and charge you service fees to claw back, a good percentage of that interest that they're going to pay you out. In a lot of times, it's just a break even, or you actually have less in your account than you did when you started. And they turn around and sell it at 100 to 1 and make whopping interest rates on it and big time profits. Where do you think all these skyscrapers downtown with all the banks and the insurance companies come from? Well, there you go, guys. It's depositors' funds. And it's probably one of the worst deals, agreements between, because people put it in the bank for what reason? Really security and the convenience of accessibility. But the reality is, the price you're paying for that, crazy. Now, having said that, a lot of people are transitioning into real estate and stuff like that, maybe agricultural land or stuff like that. Some people are saying, hey, own commodities like gold and silver and things like that. But even no matter what you get involved with, there's some level of risk. And so that's where you just have to know what your level of risk is, right? And what your appetite is for it. So let's take a look here. Kenneth Wilson, when the BRICS nations get rolling, do you see the dollar failing and our XRP taking control? Well, I think the dollar's failing right now. Like I said, I think the petrodollar is dead. And we're just waiting to have the funeral. That's really what I believe. And will these digital assets have a role? Absolutely. There is zero doubt in my mind that they will not. Now, how it will all pan out? Well, it's going to be interesting to watch it unfold. That's for sure. But no doubt about it, distributed ledger technology, I mean, you're literally seeing it. You're seeing it that all these nation states, you can literally go online and find trackers that will literally show you, what status most of these countries are in their development of their central bank digital currencies. So you can literally see that, number one. Number two, look at all the way information is being transitioned out there, right? I mean, you're seeing digital IDs being presented and all that, and some of those can be really scary, but needless to say, it's all based on distributed ledger technology. And so you can literally see the foundations being laid, and it is one of the biggest transitions that we will have ever had in probably the course of most of human history. It is going to be something else. Now, let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, so Solo Volante is literally saying what I said there. A lot of people think this when taking profits, putting those profits into gold and silver would be better store of value than fiat. And, there's a lot of people that absolutely feel that way. And, a lot of people are, and here's another comment. Someone's thinking the same. Gold bullion dealers accept XRP as payment. Yeah, some of them do. Some of them do. Heck, people are being paid in XRP in the United States. It's absolutely true. And I agree. Yeah. False sense of security with a bank. No doubt about it. You know what it is? It's the convenience of a bank. A lot of people I remember when they used to pay us when I was in the military. I remember lining up. They put us on parade for payday, right? And they give you a packet of cash, literally cash. And now they're a bit disingenuous doing that because while you were being paid, all the junior ranks tables were being set up over there to sell like booze, beer, and all that. And half the guys would leave the pay table and go over to the beer table. I'm telling you, they made a lot of alcoholics too. But needless to say, they paid you in cash. Then I remember when people started getting paychecks. I remember getting my pay stub by paycheck and whatever, come in an envelope, and you just take your paycheck and deposit. Then they came out with the whole direct deposit. This is crazy. I'm only 55, and a lot of these transitions happened in my lifetime. Then you started with this whole direct deposit thing. It was optional, right? And then they said, nope, now it's mandatory. The only way you're getting paid is by direct deposit, right? And so it goes right into your bank account before you even get it. Talk about a means of control. Going from getting paid cash to getting paid by check to getting paid by direct deposit, right? And so that's the way it is. Eventually it's going to be, you're going to get paid in CBDCs and it's going to go directly to the CBDC account that's been assigned to you. And what's going to happen there, guys? You know how they have, your payroll tax taken off and you get the net? Well, it's going to be pretty easy to remit that to the government, isn't it? All these businesses out there that take the payroll tax off their employees' wages, but don't pay that to the government and are in arrears, that day is done because they'll take it right at the point that you get paid. It'll go directly over to the government. What's that going to do? Hey, it's going to eliminate a lot of those IRS collection jobs. I'll tell you what, right now. And it's going to be the same thing with any value-added tax or goods and service tax or tax at the point of sale. At the point of sale, you're going to pay for something and the vendor's going to get theirs and the government's going to get theirs. And in fact, if you even watch Ripple's video on it, it literally says that exact thing. It's going to be nigh on impossible to escape taxation. That is for sure. Let's just take a look. Becky, again, I think we end up going through 2 or more years of hell before this entire mess is figured out. Well, we could. That's a possibility. But I think in the meantime, we're going to see some major appreciations in this space, because you wait and see at the level of quantitative easing that they're going to have to put out there to solve this, to put these fires out. Guys, you're going to watch this asset space literally take off as a result, because the DXY is going to roll over on itself big time. Confidence in the dollar is already gone, and it's just, like I say, a waterfall event is going to happen there, and you're going to watch smart money is going to get into various equities and, of course, these crypto risk on assets. Yes, I do. Eventually, Bruce has got a great question. He says, David, do you think the major banks will stake our XRP? Yes, I do. I think eventually when we get institutional adoption, what's going to come with that, guys, is going to be institutional custody. And I want to talk about that for a minute. We have the joy of being able and the pleasure to custody our own digital assets right now, don't we? Now, the thing is this: when you are custodying your digital assets, they're the one asset, the one and only asset that is completely unseizable. Now, I suppose they could throw you in the clink until you give up your passphrases and they can see it. But the reality is this: they can't seize it. If you hold your 24 words phrase, they cannot see it. It's very, very difficult. Now, they can seize your house, they can seize your cars, they can seize your bank accounts, they can seize your stocks and bonds. They can all seize it. Now, ask yourself a question when it comes to that, because they want that administrative and enforcement control in a lawsuit situation and anything like that, or a government coming after you. Well, when they have digital assets and they can't do it with that, and a person could transition a great portion of their wealth into digital assets. Now, think about this bankruptcy legislation, because this is where a big part. A lot of fraudulent bankruptcies are filed every year. I mean, a major amount. And people try to hide, their assets from their trustees, right? Well, digital assets seem to be a perfect vehicle for that, don't they? Well, I'll tell you what, guys, the government knows that too. And don't be surprised, is when you get institutional adoption, you're going to get institutional custody, and laws are going to change to the amount. Now, I don't think they're going to abolish self-custody altogether, but they're going to limit the amounts that they're going to allow you to self-custody. I'll tell you what, because why? Because they want to be in a position where they can enforce their program legislation the way they do now over every other asset class. They want to be able to do it on this one too. And that's where I think you're going to see an attack on self-custody. And they're going to make all these wallets, whether it's Decent, Ledger, Trezor, or any of the other ones, before you even get to buy it, you're going to have to KYC. I genuinely believe that's coming. And they can probably, the way in which we interact on these devices, my guess is they're going to, even the people that have them now, legislation will come out requiring KYC, and then they'll say, hey, in order for you to use these assets the way that you're doing, you're going to have on our wallets, the way that they interact with them, they're going to come out there and shut the functionality off until you do KYC. Now, there are other ways to do it, but most folks are not technical enough to understand a paper wallet or to understand how to use Zum Wallet or other things like that and get around those things. And the majority of people are going to capitulate to these requirements. But I genuinely believe that's going to come out just by virtue of a mechanism of law and the way in which our society actually addresses these kinds of issues. So, hey, you know what? With the house tour, I have to leave that up to the missus, right? I may be the king of the castle, as they say, but I'll tell you what, the one who keeps the castle is the one who really is the king, so I'm not the king of this place. But one day, Judy has plans to do a video where she's going to describe, everybody says, oh, you got so many coffee cups. Well, one day, Judy has plans to actually put all the coffee cups out on our, kitchen island, which is massive. And she can put them all out there. And she wants to do a video describing why each one of those is important to us. Because every one of those coffee cups we hold because of a reason. There's a reason behind each one. And so she's going to do a video on that someday. And on top of that, got something to present to you guys. You know how every time we have something new to present when we do 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. So guys, we are going to be starting a new program, and we're going to do it on Sundays. It's going to be called, Sunday Drive. And during that time, we're going to take out a few questions during the week where we see in the comments some really great questions in the comments. And Judy and I are just going to drive about, and during that time, we're going to give the answers to those questions. And we'll probably, it'll probably be like, a 20 or 30-minute video, but that's only going to be coming out on Sundays. And Judy's going to be a big part of that. She's going to be the one there asking the questions and hosting that show, and I'll be there to answer them. And I don't have all the answers, guys. I know that some of you have better answers than I've got. And saying that, I really want to say thanks to the guys out there that have really come out and helped a lot of other folks, because it's so difficult. I mean, when you got so many people commenting, and if I was just spending time responding and answering questions, I probably wouldn't have much time to do much else. And so, and I did do that. People that have been here for a long time know that I used to reply to every single comment, and I did that up until we had 10,000 subscribers. And I'm telling you, I enjoyed it, but it was a great responsibility. And so now, what we do, I read every comment. Judy and I both read every comment. She'll go in and put the hearts, and I'll go in and put the thumbs. That's how that works. So, both of us are watching those, and we get in there and clean up all those, WhatsApp. Oh, and by the way, guys, I do not use WhatsApp. I do not use Telegram. I don't do any of those things. And even some people will say, they'll literally have it as digital outlook. Make sure that you're looking for that black circle around the digital outlook, that one is mine. And, none of the others are. I really would grieve to see somebody get really hurt and scammed on our channel. And so we go in there, and I feel it's incumbent upon us, the best of our ability, to go in there and delete all that stuff. And we do it like multiple times a day and get rid of that. They go in, put it on, we go in and take it off. They're really just wasting their time, because to us, it's a joy to go in there and clean that. I actually have fun with it. And, getting that stuff out of there is no irritation to me. It's actually a pleasure, because I know that, hey, we got to be doing something right, that these guys are out there attacking us the way they do, right? And so for me, it's almost like seeing too much hair on the barber floor. That's just, it's a lot of work to clean it up, but all that hair on the floor represents cash in the till, doesn't it? So there's always a positive way to look at everything. And so that's kind of how I look at that. If seeing all those guys attack the channel with their WhatsApps and all of those Amazon things and things like that, that tells me, hey, you're doing something right, because you don't go after things that have no value, do you? Why would you, right? And so that's why they do it. But guys, just be vigilant yourselves and know that, hey, that is not me. If I reach out to you, and I'll reply to a comment here and there, but look, guys, email me. You want to talk to me? Email me, because I do respond to those emails. Now, I get a lot sometimes, and can sometimes take a week plus, depending on how many I'm getting, to respond. But when you want to get a hold of me, you write me at david@thedigitaloutlook.com. Now, as far as that goes, hey, with the coaching, I'm doing some stuff to change that up too. Now, right now, you interact with me through email, but it's coming up. By the time we have 20,000 subs, I'm going to have a fully developed and integrated website that we're working on right now, where we're going to be able to have it, where you're going to be able to punch your date and time right on a calendar. It's going to take you right to that spot, and you're going to get an email response back knowing that it's absolutely confirmed, and just automate the whole thing. And we're going to make it available that you can not only pay in fiat, but you can pay with crypto. Hey, we're all about crypto as it is. You want to pay with crypto? We'll work that out too. I'm telling you, it is going to be great. We want to do the most that we can for this community. And like I said, keep it sponsor free in that regard. Now, hey, you guys have heard me go out there and, kind of like talk about Caleb and Brown, but I want to tell you, they're not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor. I reached out to those guys because people were asking me, hey, where can we go other than Uphold to get XRP? Because Uphold has this 65-day hold. So I had used Caleb and Brown and used them now in the past. And so I reached out and said, hey, is it possible for you guys to, take on U.S. clients? Because when I registered, I was in Canada. And they said, oh, for sure, we can do that. except for the state of New York. Now, there's some wild laws in the state of New York, but they can. And you just KYC with them like anything else. And they're a broker. They're not an exchange. And yeah, I got a link down in my videos there, and they would pay me a referral fee if you use that link, but I'll tell you what, you don't have to use that link. You just go out there, punch up their website, and you can go and sign up for your own, account with Caleb and Brown and work that out. Now, use my link. They're going to give you a discount. I think it's like 3.5% and stuff like that. But needless to say, yes, your fees may be a bit higher with a broker, but boy, I'll tell you, the convenience of being able to pick up the phone and call somebody and getting a broker assigned to you. And think of this too, guys. A broker uses over-the-counter type trading where they have a multiplicity of exchanges and even potential private buyers at the same time. And so there's some really great benefits to a broker. Now, they do have cold storage where they can custody your assets if you wanted them to offline, and they use fire blocks, my understanding is, but you don't have to do that. You can literally have them execute a trade for you and send your digital assets right to your personal hardware wallet. Or if you're sending digital assets over there to sell, they work it out where you literally can have, the money, just like in traditional finance, the settlement goes right into your bank account. You just send them all your routing stuff and things like that. But I'll tell you what, I don't have all the answers for those guys. I know what I'm telling you based on my interaction with them and that as a client, but you can literally pick up the phone, call them up, and ask your own questions. Try doing that with Coinbase and Kraken and all those other guys. It's a nightmare, especially Uphold. I don't think Uphold even has a phone number where you can reach out to someone and personally talk to them. I don't think they have anything like that. But you can definitely do that with a broker. Now, I'm saying that because I wanted to say, hey, we're keeping our channel sponsor free, right? And on top of that, Caleb and Brown is not even a sponsor, because some folks say, well, I thought I saw Caleb and Brown on. You did see Caleb and Brown on there, but they're not a sponsor. They're not a sponsor. So thought I'd throw that out there. All right. So now hey, it's almost 11 o'clock. We're halfway through our live stream, and I want to do our raffle. So guys, I want you to get out there and look, pick a number from 1 to 1,000. Throw that in the comments section. And I'm going to keep a record of all those. And, I'll keep that. And we're going to time this. I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes. So from now to 11:15, throw in your numbers. And then I'm going to reveal to you the number that we have. And then we're going to go back through that. And the person closest to it, lowest number. If you go over, it's kind of like, Price is Right. Oh, you went over. Sorry. But the person lowest to it and lowest on the number, then we're gonna do it. Okay. All right. I'm looking here. I'm looking. All right. And hey, like I said, I will give up the 2. If I get 2 people to choose the same number, then I'm going to give up 2. Okay. Now I know I'm going to have to go back here and kind of like scroll through. So you're going to have to, once we're all done this, you're going to have to give me patience to go through and get that number. But I really can't wait to give this away. I'm telling you what, I'm excited to do it. Genuinely excited to do it. Don't worry about putting it in multiple times. If you put it in once, I'm not going to miss it. I'll see it. Because I'm going to go through the chat. I'm going to scroll through the chat and write, and I got my notepad open. I'm going to put all the numbers down. Then I'm going to reveal what the number is to you guys. And I got a friend, John. In fact, what I'll do is I'll even show you the text message that I sent him out and on my phone here, and you're going to see that number is legit. Hey, you guys know I'm not going to do you wrong. That's for sure. I love you too much. So let's just see. I'm excited to see these numbers coming in. This is great. And by the way, I'll throw this out there. John, my friend, was the one who actually made the suggestion. He thought, Dave, this would be really great to give to your community. I thought, wow, that's a great idea. Definitely going to give him credit because it was his idea. And look, man, hey, I don't have all the ideas. Judy was the one who thought, by the way, Judy has thought up a majority of it. She's the one that came up with the idea for doing the YouTube channel. She's the one that came up with the idea of doing coffee chat. You know, she's given me some tremendous suggestions. And so I'm going to throw this out there, guys. Listen to your better half, because a lot of times they have more intuition and more insight and more understanding than you do. And you're thinking, just because it wouldn't appeal to you doesn't mean it won't appeal to others, right? And so, you know, I've learned to listen to her because she's got some great, you know, discernment. And I also believe that she's got the Holy Spirit leading and guiding her in certain ways, and she has different gifts in her life than I have in mine. And remember that too, guys. Look, we all need one another to a degree, don't we? Because we don't have everything that we need, because, you know, we all have different talents, abilities, understandings, gifts, and likes and dislikes and all that kind of. Some people are fabulous musicians, and boy, that just calms the soul. You just love it so much. Other people are amazing thinkers, and you just see how they can think through a problem of ways and come up with solutions that you would never even think about. And for them, it just comes natural. And you know, then again, other people are amazing socially, interact. You wouldn't believe it, but in person, guys, I am not that fantastic of a social interactor. I get nervous, and I'll talk lots. Hey, you think I talk lots now? Wait until you meet me in person. I can talk lots. Things like that. I have Asperger's. I don't always read social situations the right way, and on and on. But the point I'm making is this: we all have something to bring to the table that actually makes the whole community that much better. So when you're out there and in your relationships, just remember that. Hey, I love that saying, as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens a man. And the idea there is we can sharpen one another. We can sharpen one another. And hey, don't be unequally yoked in that capacity either, because it's not like, hey, if I was to take some iron and I was to kind of like take some wood on it and try to, what would happen to the wood? It would get all chewed up, right, guys? You got to be equally yoked. Iron sharpens iron. You know, look at that. That's a big, big deal. So let's see here. Oh yeah, I love. Now we got some great amount of time. And yeah, everyone gets one number, right? Because, you know, I think that's a fair question, Todd. That makes sense to me, and I agree. Look, because I could just, hey, in the span of 15 minutes, I could choose number 1 to 1,000, couldn't I? So you get one number. So I'm going to take the first one that you threw out there, okay? When I go back through all of the names and stuff like that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually choose the number that the first one that username chose. That's the first number I'm going to put down beside your name, the first one you chose. That's the only fair way to go, right? So, you know, and I see a lot of numbers coming in, and guys, you only have to do it one time. I see a lot of you are putting it in more than one time because, you know, as it scrolls up. But the thing is this chat function here that I'm using, because I'm using OBS Studio here, right? And so I'm able to actually pan through the chat and get through it. And so we got about 10 minutes left. Now, yeah, you can say it that way, Eric, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another, but the actual verse that it comes out of uses, you know, the man thing. But obviously we know man is like mankind, not just men. That's kind of the thing to think there. Yeah. Well, Brian, don't worry about it. If people are putting in more than one number, I'm only choosing the first number that they put in, okay? So just put that in there. So the first number that they put in. Hey, Doran, I see you there, brother. How are you doing? Good to see you on there. And Rippler Prepper. I'm seeing lots of names that I didn't see in the first. Magic 5, Gumente, different people. Tracks to Relax TV. Yes, I love that. Hey, there's lots of great tracks to relax on. I can relax listening to heavy metal at times, man. It's not just the rhythm of the music. I used to love, hey, even in the Christian world, there were some major heavy metal bands. One Resurrection Band, one of my favorite bands, and they're a big heavy metal band. And of course you got Striper and different ones like that, back in the day. Now someone is saying, David, you're echoing. So I don't know what's going on with my sound. One guy said we couldn't hear, so I turned it up. Let me see if I can't change it like that. Now, does that make it better? Am I not echoing now? Hopefully. Snowbirds, blessed to be a blessing. Yes, that's right. We are. We have been. Judy and I oftentimes say to ourselves, just to ourselves, we'll be talking to one another and say, we're tithers and we're givers, we're sowers and we're reapers, and that's just how we like to live life. We love having an opportunity to be a blessing to people for sure. Hey, Steve from New York. Now, for those that are just new, the reason why you're seeing all these numbers come up is we're holding a raffle right now for a free coaching session. And just to reiterate, because we have just about 9 minutes left here that we're doing it, you put in a number from 1 to 1,000. And I've already have a pre-selected number, and the number that is closest to that, and if it's more than one, I'll do at least two. But the number that is closest to that, it's kind of like Price is Right. If you go over, you're busted. But if you go underneath it, the closest number underneath the number that we've chosen will get the coaching session for free. So you go on and put that in there. All right. So, no, I can't do that, man. I will take my hat off sometime. Like I do have hair under there, but right now it looks some kind of a mess. And I just, no. And you know how it is. You put something out once on the internet, it's never coming back. And so I have to be conscientious about that. That's for sure. Now, I'm going to text Judy because I've asked her. In fact, I might even go out and just see where she's at because I did want her to come on here and greet you guys and give you a little kind of a heads up of what's happened with her because and you have been such amazing supporters. And your prayer, I'll tell you what, I am a believer in the power of prayer. The scripture says, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous person availeth much. Absolutely, I believe in prayer. I have seen some things change in prayer that I thought would never, ever change in the natural situation. That literally amazing. And I know that that was an answer to prayer. Now, why it works that way? It's just like gravity. Why does gravity work? We know how it works, but why does it work, right? And all the science that shows that, but some kind of, system was put in place for it to happen the way that it did. Just imagine one of these little planets way over here, like a wristwatch with the smallest gears. If it was just out just a little bit, there'd be no life here on this whole planet. That's for sure. Yes, I do. In fact, Jadbir Sandhu I'm from Surrey, BC. And I'll tell you what, I used to love, Judy and I loved it. We lived in Surrey there, out by Langley, out there. In fact, we lived right there on the border of Langley and Surrey. And we used to go out and we'd buy pakora by the pound. Now, those of you who have never had it, you don't know what you're missing. It is unbelievable. And the sweet sauce that goes with it, beautiful. And I still have one of my sons and a daughter-in-law that lives in the Lower Mainland. And yeah, I definitely will probably be going out there to visit for sure. No doubt about it. Okay, I'm going to step out for 2 minutes and I'm going to go and see if I can collect my missus to come in and just share with you guys. And we got about 6 minutes left for the contest. And after that, we're going to actually go out there. Yeah, I see your face. I know you know what I'm and talk about the sweets. The sweets are actually probably what helped give me diabetes, eating too many of those East Indian sweets because they're just drenched, loaded in sugar. I mean, you want to talk about sweets. Wow, unbelievable. All right, so here, let me just step out. Let's see if Judy's going to get ready and come, and I'll be right back. All right. She said she's going to get ready and be here in about 15 minutes. Hey, Mark out there, 3 a.m. in Melbourne. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely getting up that early in the morning to be out there. That is fantastic. I really appreciate. And by the way, I've done a number of coaching sessions for folks in Australia and New Zealand, mind you. And look, I try to accommodate folks over there and do it at a time when it's good for them. I don't expect you to be up at 3 in the morning doing a coaching session with me. I have literally gotten up and been up at 4 in the morning so that on your end, you can actually have a life. I've been willing to do that for folks and try to give as much as I possibly can in that regard. But needless to say, let's just see. Hey, you know what, Seasider? I might just do something today that I have never done. He said, if Dave comes back in a dress and a wig, I'm out. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got an outfit. While Judy is in here and talking with you, I think I'm going to do something for the community that I have never done, and it will really be something sweet. It might be something fun for us to do. So Top Auto, sir, I just want to say thank you for your time and due diligence. You know what? I really appreciate that. I do. You know, words mean something, guys. And it's such a little effort to share some words of affirmation with another person. And the dividends it pays is truly amazing. Just a kind word every now and then. And yeah, sometimes we need to use words of correction too, don't we? But if you do it with love, boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, the difference it can make in a life is something else. I've had some people say, hey, Dave, you're going down the wrong road here. And in different times in my life where mentors have come along and done that. And the value of that is absolutely amazing. And I welcome that kind of, care, that kind of consideration. But of course, everybody loves to get some words of affirmation out there. And I want to say, I thank you back. I appreciate it. And it doesn't take as much as we think to really bring a big difference in someone's life. That's true. Now, Jerry's got another question here. He's saying, do you think people should be asking their MPs, Member of Parliament, about programmable CBDC? Yes, I do. I think absolutely. This is what you see. Look, guys, the only thing we really have, unless we're willing to get out there with our signs and our pickets and all that kind of stuff, is the voices that really make it. You write in to your member of parliament, your congressman or senators or whatever, and you get vocal. And how? And I'm telling you, I know a lot of people think, yeah, but they won't believe you me. These guys, they want to get reelected, and they take the temperature of their constituents often. They have pollers going out there and providing them with all kinds of information. Don't kid yourself, because what they want to test the water and know what's going on in the marketplace. So yes, in fact, I do, Jerry. We need to get out there and say that kind of stuff. All right, let's take a look there. What do you think about XRP right now? Well, hey, it doesn't take much to figure out what I think. You just watch my videos there, Fiat, and you're going to know in a heartbeat. All right. Now, I don't know who Molly Elmore is. Look, I'll look at who Molly Elmore is and see about her channel and things like that. You know what? Who knows what? Look, I did that video, and I had talked about this earlier, Reared, with respect to realistic price increase. Because, hey, you had Patrick Riley out there, Reaper Financial, $1 million, Val Hill Capital, you got 35,000. I saw someone else doing a calculation that says it should be worth 120-some thousand. Then you got, people that thinks it's going to zero. And of course, we have our big infamous 589 on the price, $10, $2, $3. I mean, look, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can see down the road what the future is, but do I think it's worth something? Yes, I do. And do I think it's making a big dent in the world and it's going to leave such a footprint that we'll never forget it? Absolutely. And do I think that that's going to have an impact on price? You bet your bottom dollar, or as Crypto Lulu likes to say, you bet your last XRP. Yes, I do think it's going to make a difference. But I'm not a guy, look, I report price predictions. I don't make price predictions. So a little bit different there, Dark Defender calling for $27 right now. Hey, I think that's well within the realms of possibilities. And if I was to venture a guess, and it would be just that, because like I say, if I could tell you the future, I would definitely do it. But I think XRP has a strong ability there to potentially hit three figures. What three figures? Who knows? But I think it has the potential to do that. Now, how long it will take and when it will happen? Well, like I said, nobody really knows that. But do I believe in the ecosystem? You better believe it. When I see a company that's actually building the infrastructure for central bank digital currencies, I mean, how many other, situations have you seen with where you have companies that are literally, building the evolution of money? I mean, that is mind blowing when you think about it. That in and of itself is enough to commit. But the use cases, really, the elimination of nostro vostro with on-demand liquidity, wow, that one alone is massive. But think of this. What about the adoption or the onboarding of the entire derivatives market? Wow, and I was talking with one of my subscribers there, Finn, yesterday. Great guy, just a sharp guy. Anyway, he was talking to me about that, and I had done a video previously, on the global money supply, and in fact, we can look here, I'll show another. But anyway, you can look that one up. It's like These Tokenomics Could Make You a Fortune is the title. You look at that and you look in there and there's a part in there that talks about the global money supply. You have got to see this, and the adoption in this space, it is truly something else. What other XRP influencers do you listen to? Well, you know what, Dustin? The reality is I can say who I used to listen to, because since I started this channel, you would not believe how consumed my time is. And I don't get as much of an opportunity to listen to other guys who have a lot of great stuff to say, by the way. And there's some really great people out there. I was genuinely thrilled to see Mikkel get his channel back. Now, having said that, I had a couple of guys out there were convinced that I was Mikkel's dad, if you can believe it. They said, one guy was saying, "You and your son, da 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 da." And I'm like, wait a second, that guy's not my son. And in fact, hey, I would be happy to have him as a son, probably as old as some of my sons are. But no, he's not. But needless to say, when he lost his channel like that, I was really praying for him and rooting for him to get it back. And when he did, I was excited to hear that. But, from time to time, I've watched a couple of his videos. I like Moon Lambo or Moon Sedan Family, or whatever he goes by now. And of course, when I was first getting into this space, digital asset investor, man, I'll tell you, that guy, the amount of work he's put in and what he does for this community, I genuinely have a great deal of respect for him. People can criticize all day long. Guys, it's so easy to poke holes into one another, isn't it? Because look, even me, I'm not right all the time. I have my opinions. Like I say on my channel, you're getting my 100% biased opinion. But that's based on, my research and my convictions, which, by the way, I can share with you, as I say, but I can't give it to you. And that's why I encourage you to go out and do your own research. But needless to say, look, it's so easy for us to kind of sit back and poke, what he said there, and da-da-da-da, and all this and that. The reality is, when you meet somebody who has it all together, then you let me know. Because a lot of times what happens is this. My wife has a great saying, and it's, we judge people by their actions, but ourselves by our motives. We give so much grace to ourselves because we understand, hey, I wasn't meaning that. I was meaning this. And the reason I was doing it was because of this and such. But the rest of the world doesn't get to see that. They just get to see the output, not the input. And so keep that in mind when you're looking at people and stuff like that. There's some input going on. And yeah, you don't have to agree with their output. I don't demand acquiescence to all my opinions. Heck no. You'll see in the comments, people disagree. They get to stay there, don't they? I'm not deleting that stuff. I believe in someone's ability to express their point of view 100%. I don't need agreement. That is a fact. Now, insults and tearing people down and ripping them apart and calling names and all that, yeah, that stuff's going to get removed. Because look, there's nothing healthy about that. Don't tear the person down. Tear the argument down. If you don't agree, have a great argument against it. But don't tear the person down. That's my thinking anyway. But needless to say, so digital asset investor was another one. And of course, I've watched BitBoy, and I was following DIY investing and high altitude investing there for a while as well. So those are some that I've listened to. Let's just take a look. Consensus, matter, common sense. Yeah, common sense crypto. Yeah, really. Actually, not a bad channel at all. You know, there's some other ones out there like Black Swan Capitalist. A lot of people like him. I haven't even watched one of his videos, by the way, but I've heard little snippets out of other people's stuff. Of course, Crypto Lulu is out there. Who else was Zach Rector? Now, somebody was mentioning to me about Zach Rector. I'd love to meet that guy. I'd love to really actually pick his brain and talk to him. He seems like a really, really great guy, but I haven't had an opportunity, haven't been invited. Maybe I'll invite him on our channel first and see what he says, or he can invite me on his or something like that. Now, we're past our time. Appreciate that. I'm waiting for Judy to come in. And while I do that, I've got my notepad open, and guys, you're going to have to be patient with me. I am going to go up here and go to the very top, and I'm going to start writing down the numbers and who said what. And then I'm going to hopefully okay. Hold on. I have a special guest at the door here, and I'm going to give her I'm going to let you sit right here because I got a surprise for these guys. And there she is. Here's Judy. I'm going to leave you with Judy for literally about 5 or 10 minutes. You're going to sit here and talk with them about what you're doing. I'm going to be right back. Go ahead.
What am I talking to him about?
Well, how you've been feeling, what you appreciate about the community, the channel. And
Hi, guys.
And Judy's going to be your host for 10 minutes.
Sorry, the light's a little bright for me. So hi, everyone. Hi, family. You guys are my family because I just want you to know how much I appreciate and love you guys. And all of your love and prayers and good wishes really touched me. And I know that without your prayers, probably wouldn't be doing as good as I am. And so I just really want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all your love and prayers and well wishes and how you all have just constantly been asking about me. And I really, really appreciate it. And I just wanted you to know how great that is for me and for David and our family. So I'm not really sure how a live stream works. I don't see anyone talking, and so I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. David told me to talk. I'm with you guys. You know, I watch his videos and I'm really excited about what God's going to do for all of us and how we're going to be in a different place, hopefully soon, and with the XRP community. And I just wanted to personally invite you guys to come on out to the XRP first conference that they're having in Las Vegas. We're hoping to be there. I'm hoping to be there with David, and we'd love to meet you all and be able to just fellowship with you, maybe have a coffee and just hang out and hear all the good things that are happening within the XRP community. So if you haven't bought a ticket, I encourage you to do it. Come on down or come on over to Las Vegas, and I believe it's in May sometime. I don't know the dates. David can tell you, but it would be really great to have you all there and to be able to meet you and meet our family that's in the area. So that's really exciting. I don't know if things are moving or not, how I can tell. Let me see. Are you guys talking or? Share my testimony. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's moving. David had it like funny. Okay, so tell you about my crash. So I have to be careful just because we're still in the midst of it. But basically, public knowledge is I was out going on errands. I was by myself. I care for my 92-year-old mom, and so thankfully she wasn't with me and David wasn't with me. But what happened was I was just at a stoplight, and I was probably 3 or 4 cars back, and the light turned green, so all the cars in the traffic started going, and I got as far as the intersection, and traffic stopped on the right side, so I stopped, and I looked up in my rearview mirror, and here comes a little green car, and boy, bam, hit me at 52 or 55 miles an hour. And I lots of stuff happened. So anyway, that's kind of what happened for the accident. So we're just kind of trying to get me well. And so lots of appointments. So David, unfortunately, might not be able to have coffee chats out in the backyard all the time, but he will do his coffee chats for sure. Oh, thank you, Mark M. Love and support from Australia. Wish I could go to Las Vegas, Becky Forbes. I wish you could too, hon. You know what? With God, all things are possible. So if you want to go, you just pray God might make a way somehow. Let's see. What will be worth more in 5 years? I don't know. That's a question for David. I'm thinking XRP will be more, but I think XLM will be right up there close. Do you still have to have the jab to go to the U.S.? Cole, Drayton, you know what? You do. But I believe in May 11th, Biden is lifting that, is what I was told. And so we're hoping to get some family down here to come and visit as well. And so the conference is in May. So hopefully, I don't know, I think it's in the beginning of May, so you might miss it for that. But I think that is clearing up, so that's good. Let's see, JW Sensational. Hi, Judy. Hope you're feeling better. We're all praying for you and your husband. Super great guy. You're a lucky girl, and he's a lucky man. He's proud of you and wishes the best for you. Yes, I am very blessed to have such a great husband, and I'll tell you what, he loves me, and you guys are a close second. He loves God, me, our family, and then you guys. He loves his XRP family. That much I can tell you. Dean Foster says, glad you're good, or at least better. That's true. Wow, XRP. Let's see. Yacht party people. Digital. Orgy says, yeah, yacht party. Yeah, that would be fun. What injuries did you sustain? I can't really go over that, Gord, but a lot. There's a lot going on in my body right now. Yeah, Roger says 55 miles an hour intersection. Yeah, that was tough. Boy, it's going so fast. Maybe a tea chat with Judy. Well, we have something surprising that we want to share with you, but David left, so I don't know what he's doing, but hopefully before I exit, we'll be able to share that with you. You sure aren't his daughter? Yeah, no, I'm his wife. Actually, I'm older than David, surprisingly enough. Let's see. May 11th, about time. Yeah, Shadow Smith, woohoo. Yes, come on down, y'all, when it's opened up, all you who live outside the country. Let's see. Judy, happy to see you. Are you okay? Yeah, thank you, Miss Rise Up. Thank you for coming and saying hi, Michelle. Thank you, sweetheart. You sure aren't the Senate. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. I drove to the U.S. a couple months ago. They never even asked about vaccination. Yeah, I heard that you can, if you come across the border, some border crossings you can come across and they don't ask you that, which is really great. The conference, Frank J. Lively, May 5th and May 6th. Of course, it's that time, and they're not going to lift it until May 11th, the open border. Ver Hoofdy Floofen. Sorry, my eyes are a little bit, it's kind of hard to see, and the light's bright with the thing. It's happy to see you too. Thanks for joining the live stream, you guys. Hey, would love to be in Vegas with you guys, but not able to go back to the U.S. anymore. God bless. Sorry about that, Joe Machado, but we're going to be taking lots of pictures and interviewing people if we can, and hopefully meeting some of the people that we look up to as well in the XR community. You know, David and I are new in this space, and so, you know, to be there, we're going to be kind of awestruck to see everybody as well, and meet hopefully Digital Asset Investor and meet Brad Kimes in person, and you know, who knows who, maybe Mickle will be there. We're hoping that all the, you know, BitBoy, we're hoping all of them will be there, so that would be kind of exciting. Thank you, Reb Metpisi. You all are both true walking testimony for people to move on. Yes, amen. Don't give up, guys. I know sometimes hard times come. We weren't expecting this accident to happen, but you know what? God is faithful, and he protected me, and yeah, I'm grateful it wasn't a car or a truck or a big van, because we live in an area, there's lots of construction, and there's so many big Mack trucks. Shout out to my brother, Tim. Hey, Tim, he's a truck driver. To all you truck drivers out there, love you, bro. Thank you, guys. Let's see. Oh, good. Troy Offrech, I have my ticket to Vegas. Sweet. Do you guys think it's funny when David goes on the TV? I think that's so funny. He's like, I don't know. It's just funny. I just thought of that. Let's see. Thanks for sharing David with us. Love that you both are Christians and speed such, speed, it's probably meant speak such positive. Thank you, Angela Savini. Yes, Jesus is our Lord and Savior, and we love him very much. And he's the reason that we're doing this, because we feel like God brought us into this space, as you guys know the testimony. And we really feel like it's, what we're called to do. Ron M., do you miss Canada? I don't miss Canada itself because it's so different, but I miss the people in Canada. And one of my best friends is in Canada, and I'm hoping once they open up the border, she'll come down and visit. Let's see, Mark M. Haha, tea chat and coffee chat. Love that. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll get to announce something real quick about that. Let's see. Okay, let's see. You guys are talking about VeChain. Yeah, we like VeChain too. That's one of our things. Let's see. Verhoofdy Floofin truckers. Yep, love our truckers. I gotta bless them. They keep us with food and utilities and whatever we need. So glad you're getting out the car accident. Thanks, Glenn Cantu. Oh, you're so cute and animated. Yeah, some people call it spastic, but I like animated better. That's a good thing. Becky Forbes, Judy, I was telling David to have Molly Elmore on. She's so wonderful. You know what? I think I saw an interview someone had her on. I encourage everyone to follow her channel. Yeah, definitely. We're, not proprietary. Get as much information from as many people as you can. That's amazing, because we all have a little part of the story to tell, and different perspectives is very good. DVR, how many years are you together, and how did you meet in Canada? Greetings from the Netherlands. Stay strong. DVR, I've been to the Netherlands. So has David. That was David's first overseas trip to the Netherlands. And, it was amazing and it was great. David and I are going to celebrate our, 16th wedding anniversary on March 29th. So it's coming up. So we've been together quite a while, and, we had family and friends in Canada. I had met David previously, down the road, and anyway, God kind of brought us together. And so that's, long story short, without going into too much detail and boring. But anyway, yes, I feel like God brought us together at a time when we were both very broken. I know David shared about our divorce, or his divorce, and I was in the same boat. And, God brought two broken people together to bring healing and restoration. And so our story is one of restoration, and that God has a plan for you even when you feel like he doesn't. And so that's exciting. Let me see. Ulta Pristine. Sorry, guys. My eyes are kind of blurry. Hi, Judy. Just joined in today, but so great to see you and well and be happy. Dave is an absolute gem on here, and one of the few who just refused to be unhappy. Yeah, he's a pretty happy guy. We're both pretty upbeat and happy. Heinz Feet, left from Scotland. Hey, Heinz Feet. Boy, David's dream is to go to Scotland. I'll tell you what, he's Scottish, and he calls our boys lads. Hey, lads, how you doing? So he's very Scottish, and he's very proud. When we went to England a few years back with our youngest daughter, Christina, he went and got a kilt. He has like the whole outfit, and boy, is he glad to wear that and go to the, I can't remember the name of the Scottish guy that you guys celebrate every year. It just slipped my mind. But anyway, he loves that. He introduced me to the food and stuff, and that was really fun. Yes, D. Crux, the universe will provide for you. Just ask via prayer. Amen. God answers prayers. Let's see, from Becky again. You and David should be on a coffee chat in Vegas and do a live stream. Have others that you follow you here. That's true. We might do a coffee chat together. That would be really fun. Let's see. Shadow Smith at Chocolate. Can you guess? I enjoy David's videos. I ain't got much, but I suspect that it's about to change. Amen, Shadow Smith. We're expecting that for a lot. David and I, of course, don't have everything that we want either, but we just look at it like loaves and fishes. In the Bible, it talks about how God multiplied the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And that's what we believe. God can take little and he can multiply it into so much that it's overflowing with goodness and with blessings for our family and our friends and whoever else is in need. And so, you know what? You don't have to have the $1 million XRP bag or 100,000 or whatever. Every little bit you have, if you give it to God and entrust it with him, he'll multiply it and make it bigger and more than what you could ever do with it. And I think for any of the women that are out there, we know when God gives us something, we learn to multiply it for our families. And a lot of you guys are probably doing the same. So, yep, but God can take a little and do a lot. Let's see. What else? when are you coming over to the UK? So Lawn King, we would love to see you over here. David and I loved London when we went. It was amazing. We did the little tour thing and went and saw the Queen's Palace and all that. And it was really fun. That's where David got his kilt and his little outfit, I call it. So anyway, yeah, we would love to come back over. That would be great. I can't fly right now, but hopefully soon. And once XRP pumps, we'll probably travel the world again, and we'll be contacting y'all, and we'll have meetups all over the world. So let's see. This is very fun. Be careful in Sin City. The only thing I have to be careful of in Sin City is going too much shopping. That's David will be like, you're sticking by my side. You're not leaving to go to the outlets. Oh, you'll go next year. That's good. He's probably putting in his kilt as we speak. He may be. I wouldn't be surprised because he's taking a while, and I know he's not going to the bathroom, so I don't know what he's doing, but that's probably what he's doing. He'll come out. I can hear movement. Let's see. He's putting on his kilt. Let's see. No, well, David must wear the kilt at 30 subs. Okay, I'll tell him that. If he doesn't come out today, I will tell him, Shadow Smith, to come out with his kilt on, and he can show it off. I think he has it on. He's coming.
All right.
Okay, guys, wish come true.
So someone said if
Oh,
I came
wait,
out,
how do I get out?
You just step out.
Okay, let me get out.
So here I am. This is my Scottish outfit. I had this handmade for me in London, and so there you are. If he comes out in a dress and a skirt, I'm out of here. Well, sometimes we do wear dress and skirt. And I got my flashes on. I got my skiing do. I got my kilt badge, the whole bit. Took me a little bit of time to put it all together, but
with the XRP hat, no doubt,
with
no
the
less.
XRP hat. So there you are. What do you think?
They were saying at 30,000 you should come out and do it.
Oh,
so
okay,
here, let me scoot up real quick.
There you go.
So are you coming back now? You're
Yeah. If you're
doing
if
this
you're
walk
good.
and talk. Okay, I just want to see if there's anything else. Awesome. People are laughing. Oh, baby. That's fantastic. Haha, very cool. Scott save, LOL. Yeah. Awesome. Braveheart has nothing on you. That's right. Michelle, wonderful. Nice, Dave. Very cool. Oh, just so you guys know, I'll tell you a little thing about David, is that if you want to be considered a friend of David's, call him David, not Dave. Because only his friends call him David. Anyone who doesn't know him calls him Dave. So if you call him David, you'll be considered family and friends, because only his family and friends call him David, because everyone else thinks Dave is the shortcut, and that's okay. Let's see. Are we going to tell him what we're going to do in the future?
Yeah, I did. You can go ahead and talk about the Sunday drive. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I help monitor the channel. Sorry if there's spam right now. It's hard for me to read. And so David's trying to do double duty, my part and his part. I'm a lot of the background with articles and different things like that. But we get so many questions, and so we decided that it might be fun to do a Sunday drive. I don't know if I can drive. We might be Sunday park for a while so I can read, but we're going to answer your questions. And so it'll be not a live chat, but it'll definitely be something that I'll be joining him on the show on Sundays, and the ultimate goal is to go on a Sunday drive and kind of have the background, the beautiful scenery up here in McKinney and Dallas, and answer a bunch of your questions. So if you all have questions like during the week on a video, we'll take a few questions from each video during the week, and then we're going to go ahead and I'll have David will be driving, and I will kind of give him the questions, and then he'll answer your questions. So anyway, that's kind of the fun thing that we're doing. I'm not sure if we're doing it. I don't think we're doing it tomorrow, but we'll do it soon when I'm feeling a little bit better, and maybe next week. What does your coat of arms look like, David? That would be awesome to drop into your channel.
Right now, actually. I can take off my kilt pin.
Oh, he's going to take off his kilt pen. So anyway, I just want to encourage you guys. Have you already done the draw?
We've done it, and I just need to calculate it and give them the winning numbers. So.
Yay! Well, good luck, you guys. I hope you enjoy it.
I'll put it up to see if you can see this here, right there.
Oh, there it is.
And, of course, it's the McDonald one. It's by land and by sea. And my family comes from McDonald of the Isles. So that's why I have this tartan. There you go. All right.
You guys, it was really fun talking with you. I know the live stream's wrapping up in a few minutes, but thank you so much for letting me come and hang with you guys. It was really fun to get to talk to you. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you again during our Sunday drive that I'm looking forward to. So you guys, God bless. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your prayers and continued prayers for me and for my healing. And I'm looking forward to being, up and running again, hopefully very soon. So thanks, you guys. God bless. Love you. Bye.
Thank you, sweetie.
Oh, you're welcome.
That was really good. You doing all right? Yeah. Okay. Wow, that was great. I'm glad Judy could do that. And you know, it was that whole comment there. If he comes out in a dress and a wig, I'm out of here. Well, pretty close, I guess, eh? Anyhow, guys, yeah, I had this made. Judy and I were over in Great Britain. And while I was over there, I went into a Scottish tailor. And I went, and there was one really close to the history of the Museum of Natural History. Went down in there, went down into this tiny little shop in the basement of this place. And they actually did. Now, I don't play the bagpipes, but I do have like a bagpipe, whistle or whatever, however they call those, where you're to learn the bagpipes. I have never learned it yet, but it's really great. I think having your cultural heritage and all of that is really something else. And Judy and I do go out and celebrate Robbie Burns Day and stuff like that. And we'll go to different things and, watch presentations, of course, eat haggis and all the stuff that goes with it and everything. And those of you who don't know who Robbie Burns is, he was from the 1700s, a famous Scottish poet. And every year around the world, people actually sing one of the things that he wrote, Old Lang Syne. That is Robbie Burns. So really quite an amazing guy. And anyway, it's part of my heritage and I love it. And so thought I'd just come out and share that with you. Do something a little fun there and what. Now, let's get back over here and get the winner. So, guys, I'm going to tell you what. The number that we chose was 872. In fact, I'm going to put that in here. Our number was 872. So, the winning number is 872. That's right. It's called a canter. That's right, Heinz. That's exactly what it is. And I have one of those. I just had not gotten into doing it quite yet because it's such an I got it for Christmas and it's such an annoyance to the family to actually hear the thing that, I haven't actually done it. So I'm going to just put in here, our number was 872 and I'm going to go out there and find out who had the closest number to 872. All right. Someone says, don't call him Robbie, but every Scot that I've ever met calls him Rob. It was Robert Burns, obviously. But anyway, let's just take a look there. And let's get these numbers down. Get out my little notepad so I can copy them over. And I'm going to find the number that is the closest and is the lowest. So let's just take a look. And guys, all I'm doing here, and you can do it with me if you like, is I'm looking at all the numbers that folks put in and going in here. Oh, come on. Let me see the chat. Let me see the whole chat. What the heck? All right. You know what, guys? I don't know why, but I'm not able to see the whole chat, which really kind of sucks. But that's okay, because I know that there's a way of getting it off of YouTube, the chat from the live stream. Because it should show up there, should it not? Let's see here. All right. Yeah, there you are, Mark. There you are. That's okay. I'm going to just go right into YouTube. For whatever reason, I'm not able to see the whole chat here on OBS. So let me just go into YouTube and get it there. Because I know that they keep a chat history there. Or at least they should. That's my understanding. Go in here. All right, and let's see the chats. Dismiss that. Okay. Okay. I'm not wanting to hide chat. I'm wanting to see the chat. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. All messages. There we go. We want to see all messages. Okay. All right. Okay. There we are. There we are. There we are. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Now, you know what I might have to end up doing? Because I might have to do this offline because I can only see so much of the live chat as it goes. But we'll do it offline and that type of thing. But I'll tell you what, if for some reason we've botched this whole thing, I'm actually going to pick a new number and I'm going to get everybody to put it in, and we can still do it because, you know, I'm looking at the chat history and I'm wanting to see like all the whole chat. Okay, all messages are available. There we go. Hopefully this is going to do it. We're going to take us all the way back. Okay, now, maybe do any, okay, I'm going to ask for some technical assistance. So how do we get to see the whole chat? Because I thought it was all in here, the whole live chat. Is that only after the live stream is done, or is it while we're in the live stream it's possible to do? Can anybody answer that question for me? Yeah, I can't take the hat off. George Scott says it'll all be there after the show replays. Perfect. Guys, we'll all see it. You know my number, 872. So after the show is done, everybody's going to see who was the closest to that number going down from there. And I'm going to come back, and whoever that person is, I'm going to actually get in touch with them. I will, let you know who that is, because I'll post it right in, I'll pin a comment right in the section, and I'll give you an email to reach out to me and claim your prize. It will be there. I will definitely honor it, to be sure, just to let y'all know. So yeah, I know it's kind of funny. I just thought, I put that out there when people were saying, well, if he comes out in a skirt and a wig, the guy says, I'm out of here. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to come out in my kilt. So that would be the way that we do it. Wow, guys, I just am so thrilled. And Judy shared with you how we're going to do the drive and the Sunday drive and that kind of stuff. And we're really looking forward to that. Now, I want to throw something else out there. Judy's mom, who lives with us, is 92. And right now she's undergoing some major issues, with her health. And we actually have a doctor appointment with an oncologist. And for those of you who are believers in prayer, we're just praying that she will have no pain, that she'll be completely healed in this situation. And so I'm going to throw that out there and ask you guys if you can pray for her. Her name is Ruth Ann. So just to throw that out there. Yep, I Bruhufti Fluten. XRP prime for a parabolic rise. I absolutely believe it. I think we're going to see something really major take place. And especially, we get a decision, this next week with respect to this whole lawsuit. Now, guys, a lot of people said, oh, well, we might not get a decision till June. And all the naysayers by the end of this month are going to come out. See, there's no, you get an on and on and on, and it'll go. The fact of the matter is, I believe we are going to get a win out of this situation, and especially for the secondary sales of XRP. That happens, guys, we are seeing such a situation, especially right now with the way that these banks are failing, and you're watching this quantitative easing, the turning on the taps, this money, which is going to really have an impact in this space. You coincide that with a decision for the positive with XRP. I'm telling you, the sky's the limit, at least in my opinion. I think it could go absolutely ape monkey crazy. Forget Bored Ape Club. Those apes will be freaking swinging from the trees. That's what it's going to be. That's what I'm thinking. Hey, Martez Ramirez, thank you, man. Value the fervent, effectual prayers of a righteous person availeth much. No doubt about it. And so here Judy is. She's just kind of recovering from her accident, and now mom's not doing so great. But God is good no matter what. Look, the Bible says that we look forward to those days. That's what I believe. Now, Ruth Ann, Judy's mom, is 92, and what a tremendous testimony. What a great life and longevity. What a blessing. If we all make it to 92, how happy will we be? That's for sure. You know, it is really something. Now, let's see. I want to get a few good, let's get some great questions in there. Thanks, Verhoofen Fluten. And by the way, I think that Verhoofty Flooflin. I love those kinds of usernames. Just, just saying it makes you almost smile, doesn't it? Awesome. Takeover Signature Bank. Absolutely. What a betrayal to the entire system and an absolute attack when you're dealing with a solvent bank like Signature Bank. And look, I'm no fan of Barney Franks, but the deal is this. The guy at least came out and told us what was going on and really put himself out there to do it. But that is absolutely obscene that they would put a bank like that into receivership that was absolutely solvent. And that shows you just how diabolical and devious these people truly are. And a lot of that brings me back to that whole FTX deal. Look, the thing is, you look at the linkages between the relationships between Gary Gensler and the parents and FTX and SBF, and then of course his girlfriend there and all that. And SBF in there smoozing around with all of these senators and in there with the SEC and all this kind of stuff. And then the whole thing implodes. No way. How do I know that, guys? I was a federal officer myself. And the SEC has investigative division that goes out and absolutely tracks this thing. How do you think they'd throw all these lawsuits down and they didn't know what was going on with FTX? And then you got the FTT token. If there was ever a securities offering in the history of this space, that one was for sure. And they did absolutely nothing. And I think they just let the balloon blow up till the whole thing imploded so that they could have their cause of action, right? Their reason for, this is why we have to come in and clean the whole space up. Guys, never let a good crisis go to waste. Not saying they participated in that blowing that all up, but they allowed it to happen under their watch. And how many retail investors were hurt? And you're telling me the SEC's out there to protect the retail investor? Don't believe it. Don't tell me what protection is. Show me what protection does, right? That's kind of how I look at that. Now, what about the technology that the FDIC and the Fed acquired via the recent Signet? Yeah, that's right, Signet. And that does the exact thing. Look, you know what? When all these things come out, like Triple B is saying there, where, this does the same thing. Look, we're not asking for a monopoly here. We're asking for a fair and balanced platform to compete on. Never fear competition. Competition is the driving force of innovation because you want to keep your stuff ahead of the game at the front line. Competition is really one of the best things the free market offers. So if other people are coming out there to offer products similar to XRP, bring it on. That's what I say. Competition doesn't make me afraid. I'm not afraid of it because that, like I say, is the driver for innovation. It keeps these people sharp and not lazy, making sure they have the absolute best products to present. And think of this too. What opportunities are available to us when some of these new ones come out on the ground floor that we might want to throw a bit of a position in because, hey, look, that's the whole point. Hey, win, play, show, right? You want to go and get a trifecta or whatever, and all that kind of stuff. You're going to go out there and you're going to take a look at these, do the investigative work that you need to do and make your own decision. But don't ever fear competition. That's what I say. Absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. I don't think it's just Ethereum, but that's what these guys want to build. They want to build monopolies in this space. That's why, yeah, Hinman went out there and Hinman went and did that whole speech on the Ethereum free pass crap and stuff like that. Because these guys don't know how to compete in a level playing field. And it's kind of like the kid that's out there on the sandlot playing baseball, and he brought the ball and bat and things don't go his way and the rules don't, and his side loses. What does he do? He grabs his ball and his bat and he goes home crying. That's what he does. And the next time he doesn't get to go out and play, does he? Because the kids actually know how to discipline that behavior. They're like, hey, buddy, last time you brought your bat and ball, you took off, went home crying, and you took the game away from the rest of us. Well, you're not getting a second chance to do that. You can just stay on the sidelines and watch us play. And that's the way it has to be. I mean, sometimes, guys, the only way to punish these guys' behavior is to deal with them directly like that. And we have to get out and expose it. And boy, I'll tell you, Digital Asset Investor and the investigation that he did and what he helped dig up, because there's a guy, like he says, he's been doing these videos for years, two a day, and he has a really fantastic mind to remember stuff. And the stuff that he's archived and saved, wow, did he ever bring some real amazing information to bear in this case. And boy, I don't think that they were even expecting it. I think they underestimated this entire community. That is for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I think Coinbase will relist XRP. And the reason I think that is they're going to want to have a community like ours behind them, helping them to try and go against what the SEC is trying to do to them. And you literally saw Stuart Alderati reaching out to, what was it, Chuck Gruel or Paul Gruel, who is the chief legal officer for Coinbase. So you got Ripple's chief legal officer and Coinbase chief legal officer kind of swapping some support and information there. So it'd be interesting to see what really happens. That's for sure. Hey, Nambia's in there. Crystal, thank you so much. Nope, not having any trouble, Coinstar, on my Ledger Nano X, so I don't know what's going on with yours. When will Coinbase give us our airdrops? Right? Yeah, good point. The Flare and the Songbird. There's a class action lawsuit out there addressing that subject right now. So hopefully they're going to pony up and actually step up, because the deal is this. And I was back buying XRP before the snapshot, and Coinbase was putting it out there that hey guys, come on in. We're going to support you. All the while being completely disingenuous, because they knew talks behind the scenes, because it wasn't too much longer. Remember, the snapshot was in December of 2020 and the lawsuit dropped in December of 2020, and Coinbase, I believe, delisted XRP in December of 2020. So in a way, it was very disingenuous for them to have a lot of people come and store their XRP up on their platform, only to not honor the Flare and the Songbird tokens. That's at least my opinion. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, Fiat's so volatile, there could be massive losses before you can buy it. Yeah, and not only that, try and get physical gold and silver right now. It is absolutely ridiculous. And on top of that, what you're probably going to see when it comes to gold and silver physical, you're going to see major premiums over the spot price, because the demand is out the door. That's at least what in fact, you know what? That's how Judy and I got into this space. We were trying to secure our purchasing power with gold and silver, living in the lower mainland of our savings. And I found only one dealer, 17 ounces of silver. That's it. That's all that was available. And so that wasn't going to protect us as a hedge against inflation. And lo and behold, did we not find our way into this digital asset space, thinking about Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, and taking that course that Christopher Green had offered. And on top of that, turned around and found out about more, and it really, really changed our lives in a massive, massive way. Well, guys, we've been on here for about 2 hours, and I just want to say thank you so much once again. And listen, once this is done, I'm gonna go offline and I'm gonna look to see when I can see all of the chats and all of those numbers. I'm gonna put them in there, and I will post the whole thing. I'll try to post the usernames and everybody's number down there in a pinned comment. and who the winner is in a pinned comment. Give me time to do that. It's going to happen. I guarantee you. I'm a man of my word. You can better believe it. And we're going to see who's going to win. And guys, the nice thing is you can also look through that chat history and see it as well, can't you? And so we all will know our number that I chose. Oh, I was going to show you that because here's the text message that I sent out at yesterday. And I sent it at 9:55 p.m. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, let me just get it in there. 872. And to my friend John. Hey, John, here's the number. 872 at 9:55 p.m. last night. So out there, that was our number. And so whoever got the closest to that without going over, as Bob Barker used to say, is going to win that prize. So that's awesome. Well, Jean, thank you. Claudio, thank you. Digital Orgy, thank you. George Scott, Martin Wayne, Chef Dave, Jose, all you guys, I really appreciate y'all. Pahalaya, Carrie, of course, Carrie Trotter, thank you, Carrie. Really value you guys. Everybody out there in this space, Verhoofty Fluten, Solo Volante, all of you guys, I really wish y'all the very best. And we're going to sign out. I'm going to go catch some lunch. I'm going to wait for this thing to all, finish doing what it does. And then I'm going to get that out and I'm going to get it out this afternoon. You're going to see it. So it's going to be there as soon as I can get it out and you're going to see who won. And I want to thank you guys so much. 20,000 subscribers and counting. And by the time we hit 25,000, we're going to have even some new stuff. And don't forget, we're going to be doing those Sunday drives, answering questions that we see in the comments section through the week. And we're going to just choose, 5 or 6 are the really big ones. Because sometimes you get the same question multiple times, don't you? And so we're going to get those out there. We're going to do those Sunday drives. And those are videos where Judy is going to really be hosting it and doing the Sunday drive. I'll be with her, of course, but she's going to be the primary driver for that. And thank you guys for all the prayer, support, well wishes. You are just the best community ever. And I value each and every one of you so much. You're in our prayers for sure. And on top of that, it is going to be so great. We're going to see one another in the winner circle. And hey, guys, I'm going to XRP Vegas. Judy and I are going to be there, being that it's the first major, XRP kind of like convention and stuff like that. And if any of you see us there, you just come up and say hi. We would be so great to meet a lot of you person to person, shake your hand, get a picture, do some hugs, all that kind of stuff, because you guys are what make this community. And don't think we don't know it. We do. And we value each and every one of you. So guys, be blessed, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.